welcome or welcome back if this is your first time here, which probably is, maybe, I don't know. So, as you can tell from the title, we today are going to be predicting the 2022 Formula One season with tarot card. And I know that it probably sounds very, very weird and esoteric and just, loads of bullcrap for most of people, which is why I will try to explain a little bit in this intro what really tarot is to me, how I use it. But firstly, my name's Ola and I have been a Formula One fan for a year almost, and I have been doing tarot for a little over the year. For like year and a half, I've been watching tarot readings on YouTube, and I definitely would not say that I am the most knowledgeable person or an expert or something, but I thought that it would be really a lot of fun to make a video like this, just like, not being too serious about it, because it is not the reason why I'm doing this, like trying to be like I know exactly what will happen and when it will happen. I'm sorry if you can hear my roommates. But yeah, it's not to say that all of this is for sure going to happen. It's more like just having a little bit of fun. This is generally how I started with tarot, just having a video pop up on my recommended and just being like, curious about how this works. So this is what I will be trying to do today, just having a little bit of fun. And like, if you are feeling like a little bit uncomfortable with the idea of using tarot cards because of the negative connotations that it has in the society. I know because I used to go to a Catholic school and our priest would tell us that, tarot is a tool of Satan and people who use it are having a pact with Satan, and it is really what they would tell us. I promise you that I never seen Satan in my life. I've never talked to him. I wish I did. But it doesn't work that way. I actually read about like how the tarot originated, and it just started out as a playing game, so in like 15th century or something like that. So it's not really such a big deal. But at the same time, for me personally, a lot of things that I predicted with tarot came true. It also has been a really helpful tool for me to like guide me. Definitely not talking to the devil or something like that. It is not how it works. So yeah, when it comes to like how I feel it works and how this reading will work, it's not like I believe that everything in our life and in the sports and all of that is set in stone and for sure will be just the way it says it will be, and you cannot do anything about it. I believe that there are some things in our lives that we cannot change, that are just meant to happen the way they do, and there are some things that we have power over, so we can change them. And I believe with sports it's the same way. So when you do a reading, you are just really looking at what the energy is right now at this moment. It can definitely change in the future, so you need to take it into consideration that there are some things that you cannot predict and some things that will change. I will just really encourage you to keep an open mind and treat it as something very playful, and I don't take it very seriously, especially me being quite newer to the world of tarot and all of that. I would not say that my readings, I mainly read for myself, but sometimes for like my family stuff, I would not say that they come true every single time or 90% of the time. I think that to be very, very accurate, you need to be really skillful and knowledgeable and have a lot of experience. And it's not like the full photo of the cards or how they made or anything like that. It's just you as a reader not being able to interpret them 100% just what they mean really. So probably a lot of things that I will talk about today will not come true at all, or will partially come true or something like that. Maybe a little portion will come true, but at the same time people make videos about, predicting the 2022 season, and we literally have nothing to base it on other than, I don't know, some rumors that, so we might as well just take tarot cards and it will be literally the same thing. And to show you that I literally don't know a lot, because there weren't any launches yet other than the Haas launch, which wasn't really a launch. It was a disappointment, to say at least, because it is the 7th. To prove to you, here it is 7th of February 2022. Testing is in 2 weeks. So if I get anything right today, then you know that it is not because I have any kind of information. I know that people have been speculating about Red Bull and Mclaren not being in a great place because they want to bring upgrades on the first race, which, I'm not listening. I'm not listening because, So I think we will start. We will change the angle, because my face, unfortunately, is not the most important thing today to look at. We will look at the cards. Firstly, I will cover the whole season with tarot cards and oracle cards. Then I will go team by team and driver by driver and ask some yes and no questions. So let's switch the angles. All right, we'll come back. I hope everything is visible. Somewhat. As you can see, I have a beautiful black piece of paper on my desk, because my desk is it hasn't been easy for it. I guess, so I have to cover it because it doesn't look very presentable. If you think that my nails are not very presentable, it's because they are not. I'm not sick or anything, don't worry about it. It's just I took off my nail polish and I have been really rough with them, so they are really just hanging for their dear life right now. So let's just ignore it and start our reading. So we will start with the tarot. I have the original, I don't know, the classic Rider-Waite tarot. I've been using it for my whole reading journey, I guess. I will probably try to explain a little bit. Maybe some people watching this reading think that it is very basic and all of that, but I think that the tarot community and Formula One community are not necessarily very intertwined, so I mean, maybe they are, I don't know. Shout out to Moonlight Guidance, one of my favorite tarot readers on YouTube, because I've seen her commenting on Formula One videos a couple of times, but still I don't think that most of Formula One fans know a lot or even anything about tarot. So these are the cards that I have. There are a lot of different decks, but this is like the classic one, and which is recommended for the beginners. We have 4 elements, I guess. Wands, which are fire, swords, which are air, cups, which are water, and pentacles, which are earth. They also correspond to zodiac signs and all of that. We have major and minor arcana. Major arcana are the big events and really important stuff. And we also have the court cards with kings and queens and all of that. I think that it will make more sense as I go along and just explain while I'm at it. Also, I'm sorry for my voice being a little rough today, but I'm currently isolating because of COVID, and I'm fine, but just my throat and having a little bit of sore throat and runny nose and all of that stuff. But thankfully nothing more. All right. As you can see, I made these very beautiful drawings of teams and driver numbers here. So after we finish with like the main overlook of the season, we will go with teams and their drivers. I think I will go with the teams first and then driver by driver. Let's just start, I guess. I like to let the cards fall like that. They even fall on the floor. But let's start over because I don't really feel that this is how it was meant to be. All right. I like to let the cards fall, but see, that is too many. I usually take like 5 cards, and I don't like it when they just fall in a bunch because it is just weird. And when it comes to reading, like how you pick the cards, it just depends on you. Some people just take whatever cards they feel like. I find it the most accurate when I let them fall down. And don't come for me for my shuffling skills because they are not very they are not the greatest, I would say, but it doesn't really matter because, you know, it is important how they fall down, not how they are shuffled. See, that is too many, but I will keep those 3 cards. Right. If it takes a really long time for, card to fall, then I will probably just speed it up. Oh, but it was quite quick, I would say. So as I was saying, I like to have 5 cards. I don't know why. It's just the way I like to do it. Here is the back of the deck, which back of the decks are usually treated as like the general energy of the reading. I will also take this oracle cards, the Monology oracle cards. Like we will see how many will fall down, but I think like 2 maybe will be the right amount. All right. So I will read them. And I'd like you to know that when it comes to reading tarot, there are no rules really. It's just the way you feel like. Basically, you are meant to read them intuitively. Obviously, if you want to really read them by book and by the definition, then you can. But I personally like it more when I just feel them and just whatever comes to my mind, and I just interpret them that way. Also, it is very important to treat them as a whole, so not like just take one definition, second definition, third definition, or at least for me, because you can do whatever you want, but I usually just treat them as a whole story. When it comes to reversed cards, like the ones that I have here, some people do not take reversals in tarot. I do. If they come, I don't like purposefully reverse them when I'm shuffling or anything like that. If they just come reversed, then they come reversed. I find this spread really interesting, especially starting with Justice. This is Libra energy. I'm trying to remember which driver is a Libra. I have it noted somewhere. I have my notebook. So who is Libra? Max is Libra, and he is the only Libra in the 2022 lineup. What else? We have Temperance. Temperance is Sagittarius energy, I'm pretty sure. And do we have a Sagittarius? Yeah, we don't. And I did not think that we had. Let's think about it for a minute. We have the Justice at the beginning, and I looked... I looked at the back of the deck here in a monology deck, where we have a personal issue reaches conclusion. Also, this is Cancer energy, and Cancer is Daniel for sure. Also Seb, Nicholas, Latifi. And here we have Pisces also. Pisces is only Nikita, I'm pretty sure. So they might be in any way significant in this season, I guess, because it just, the cards usually, when there are some major arcanas, then the zodiac signs are in some way significant. So I guess we can say that Max might be significant this season, which is a little surprising, because I for sure did not think that Red Bull and Max would this season will be strong for them, but we don't know yet. We just know that some significance might be there. But when it comes to this personal issue reaches resolution and justice is a card that really speaks about, justice and legal stuff. Usually, this is just really, she's like, or they are, I don't really know, sitting on this throne, like having the sword of truth and being able to get the truth at whatever cost. So I really feel like it connects to this personal issue reaches conclusion, and it's not like a personal issue in the life of Max or any other driver. I feel like it's more in the whole of the FIA, if that makes sense. Like a personal issue, I don't know, I feel like it talks about how the 2021 season ended, especially when it represents Max, I guess, because he's a Libra. And like with the investigation being held and they just really looking into what happened at Abu Dhabi and all of that, I feel like we might start this season with some questions about it being answered and really bringing justice into this situation. It does not mean, in my opinion, I don't feel like it means that, they will take the championship away from him or anything like that. Obviously, that would be like crazy to predict or even think, because, stuff like that just doesn't happen. But I think that they will try to resolve this issue and really bring a closure to it, so that we can start this season on like a clean slate and just have everything in order. And I know I said that you need to read this as a whole, but I feel like this card is really talking about this, and it is quite separate to the rest of it. When we go to Four of Cups, as you can see, it represents a person who has a lot. I mean a lot. They have 3 cups, which are probably amazing, but they are not satisfied with them. Then there is an opportunity for another cup for them to get, and they are just, not taking it. They are very not pleased and bored and mad probably and all of that, which is I don't like this card very much. It annoys me because you have all of this and you have an opportunity to get a 4th one and you're just not taking it. It just, I would interpret it as something the FIA probably will have a chance to make something great happen, but they will not take it for whatever reason, probably money reason, because what else? And I feel like it would make the whole community a little bit, angry. Like, why wouldn't you take it? Why wouldn't you make that decision? Because it is something that probably most fans want and they just want to do it. So with the 3 of Pentacles, it is a card of collaborating with other people, he's doing something and they are trying to help him and they are just doing something great together. I feel like this is the community, possibly the teams also trying to like making really great things, but then comparing to the the officials and the FIA, it is it is great, but then we are doing all of these amazing things and trying to bring everyone together and all of that, and then the FIA is doing just their same old stuff. Like, you would think that as they close the investigation on the 2021 finale and all of that, then something would change and all of that stuff, but no, I don't see that happening. With the Four of Cups also, I feel like it might be somebody having a chance of getting like a fourth championship, a fourth win, a fourth pole position or something like that, but then they just throw it away and don't take advantage of it. I am not really sure who could it be. I'm trying to think who had like 3 wins or something like that. This could be an indication too. Then we go to the Temperance and 8 of Swords. Starting with the Temperance in reverse. Temperance as a card is really just about this balance, like it's I don't remember which angel this is, like Gabriel or Michael, and they are just balancing the water in the cup so that it is very harmonious and all of that stuff, but it is in reverse, so I feel like this season might be very imbalanced, a little bit chaotic, maybe also in the community, not only on the track, but I feel like mostly on the track it won't be very balanced, and I'm trying to think like what exactly does it mean? Maybe it won't be balanced in a way that new regulations, not everybody is going to get them right, so it's not like everybody will be on the very same level. I don't think. I think that there will be people who will get it right and people who will get it wrong, and it will be there might be an imbalance in the amount of teams that get it right and the amount of teams that get it wrong. So probably like 6 teams get it wrong and 4 teams get it right. So then 4 teams fight for the championship really, and the rest of them is not able to do that. It's not like everybody is on a similar level. I feel like definitely there will be a divide in the field with who has the right car and who doesn't. With the 8 of Swords. 8 of Swords is a card that really talks about you not being able to move, just being stuck and, not seeing the future, or just being trapped with all those swords around you and all of that. It is a very mental energy because swords talk about our thoughts and our mind and all of that. Now that I think about it, that drivers, or maybe even one driver or multiple drivers that have been really stuck and really in their thoughts and their minds, I feel like they will get out of this situation. Like they probably will excel now. And I am saying this as a Daniel Ricciardo fan, so I don't want to get my hopes too much up, but I just want to throw it out there that this is how I would interpret this card. So this is a possibility. I also feel like the FIA might, open their eyes and see what really needs to be done in order for the sport and the community to be better. I'm sorry that they are just like thrown here, not very aesthetic and all of that. Then we have 2 oracle cards, balance, spirituality and practicality, and a time for healing. I won't take it as a very literal like very, I have trouble speaking today. Like spirituality probably is not something that is very important, or maybe, I don't know, important, but it doesn't have that much to do with Formula One, I don't think. But like I would take this balance definitely, like we've seen with the temperance, that the balance will be off. And also I feel like finding the balance for the teams and the drivers will be very important, just so that they can, you know, find a loophole, but then don't overshoot it, so they like won't get disqualified. Then a time for healing. I feel like this speaks about the FYA. We have been talking a lot about FYA and how they are not bringing the necessary changes, which is not very surprising, I guess. But I feel like we talked about here, that they will open their eyes probably closer to the end of the season, that they will really probably heal internally. So yeah, this really brings hope, I guess I would say. And then the overall energy with the Seven of Swords. When it comes to the Seven of Swords, it is a very sneaky energy. It talks about like deception and, you know, betrayal and all of that stuff. He's like stealing these swords from somebody and being really sneaky about it and all of that stuff. So I feel like there might be in some teams, you know, a little bit of deception, probably maybe stealing some, information and data, and, you know, maybe something like Spygate and all of that. I know that it sounds really spicy. It obviously doesn't need to be as dramatic as Spygate, but it might be something similar might happen, or something like, I don't know, the pink Mercedes. Maybe people will switch teams and bring with them some information about how the previous team does things and all of that. Possibly people will try to copy the team that got it right, I guess. So now we will go team by team, starting with Mercedes, or whatever you would like to call them. It is not the very best drawing I ever made, but it will have to do. So let's start. It will probably have a little bit of a similar form to what we've just done. I just want to 2 cards and 1 Moonology card. That's what I was going for. So we have the King of Cups and the Empress. Interesting. A time to give rather than take. New moon in Virgo. I'm thinking because Valtteri is a Virgo. And the Empress, I'm not really sure. The King of Cups is like the water energy. I honestly don't see anything that could happen wrong for them, I guess, unfortunately. The only thing, like the Empress is a number 3, so I guess you could maybe predict that they would end up third in the constructors, but I don't see this being very likely. The Empress is like the definition of creativity, because she's usually depicted as a pregnant woman with like the power of creation. Obviously, it is very important now when they have to come up with a whole new car. The King of Cups is very interesting because it is someone that is very in tune with their emotions, like a master. So if you connect them, then I see a team that is birthing a very like healthy baby, you know, with their new car, and also like keeping their emotions in check. So no drama with like media and, you know, what people say and fight about and all of that stuff. I don't see that happening for them, which is good because, you know, it wasn't the best sometimes, especially this season. With a time to give rather than take, with new moon in Virgo, I feel like something with Valtteri might be up. Maybe he will talk to George about some things and like really give him some advice. This is just so interesting that Valtteri will be important for Mercedes. I don't know. Let's go to Red Bull. We are going in the order of 2021 championship. Let's start with tarot cards again. 2 of them. Oh, Sun. With number 19, which adds up to 10, which you can add up to 1. Oh, so that's too much cards. I'm taking 3 because I felt like it really wanted to come out. Let's see what Moonology deck wants to say. It's time to release negativity. Full moon in Scorpio. This is very interesting spread because we have the Sun, which is like one of the most positive cards on the deck. It just speaks about, happiness, warmth. Then we have I never know how to pronounce it, Hierophant, I guess, which speaks about tradition, religion, having very strict values. And then we have a 3 of Swords, which, as you can probably guess, is talking about a heartbreak and, something bad happening. I feel like Red Bull might start season off strongly. It might be the case that they will be the team that gets, betrayed or copied or something like that with the 3 of Swords and negativity card and all of that. I feel like the Hierophant, it can represent generally that they will try to stick to how things were before. But at the same time, I feel like it might represent, someone higher up, maybe Christian, but more, I would say it would represent Helmut Marko, because, he is very traditional and he is a little older and all of that. Like, not to be rude or mean. It's not reversed, so I guess he still will be having a lot of power over the team, and possibly it might lead to a heartbreak, because the other interpretation of 3 of Swords I see is that someone would get their heartbreak. I don't know about you, but I don't think that it would be Max. So I'm thinking maybe Checo doesn't perform super well, and we will get to the drivers later, but maybe that's the case, and then Helmut just, is not very understanding, just the way he usually is. And it just really, hurts Checo, or maybe it's about Pierre and how he hopes that he will get the promotion, but he won't. I mean, I generally think he won't, but with It's Time to Release Negativity, I feel like it involves Helmut because, I just see him as a very negative person personally. And I feel like Red Bull really should try to release him, but I don't think that they will. I see him still being really, really strongly, having that grip on the team and the drivers, which is really sad. I feel like had they, let him go, then probably it would be of benefit to them. Let's go to Ferrari. This also isn't my finest drawing ever, but it is what it is. And I know there is a lot of hype surrounding Ferrari this season. I am quite careful with that. We have not a lot of things to base our judgment. Let's see what the cards say. Alright, so these 2 cards got flipped. We have the Knight of Cups in reverse, and Temperance in reverse again. Temperance is a number 14, which adds to 5. So, possibly they might end up 5th in the championship, but it is, just one little thing that says that, so. Interesting. A new romantic cycle begins. Whoa. For sure. Ferrari, of course. So these two cards, I feel like talk about the same thing, and I feel like it is something that has been predicted by many people already, with having Carlos and Charles performing really well, that it is all nice when they are not really fighting for the wins, but the second season together, maybe Ferrari will be stronger. I don't know, because I don't see a card that would 100% predict that, even though I feel like the fact that we have a knight here, and it is on a horse, and this horse is reverse, and we have a horse in Ferrari logo, that might be significant that it is reversed, that possibly it won't be the best season ever. But I feel like it just really talks about the relationship between Charles and Carlos, that it won't be very balanced, and possibly with the team and one of them or two of them, that it won't be very balanced. The emotions probably will be, running high. We don't have any card that would, mean fights and all of that, but I think that it might be quite passive-aggressive, like we've seen with Seb. I don't really want to, predict that the same thing will happen with Carlos or Charlotte or something like that, but it might. We have a new romantic cycle begins, new moon in Libra. Max is the only Libra. You know what I'm thinking about with this? I'm thinking about them, like Ferrari, being flirty with some other driver. I don't know why, but this just came to my mind, like they might go to, I don't know who, maybe Mick or just somebody completely different, and be flirtatious with them. It could be Max because he is a Libra, but I'm not really fully confident that Max would ever leave Red Bull. So I don't know how good or bad their season will be based off these cards, but I feel like, the energy in the team and the relationships and all of that won't be very healthy. Many people will probably feel like their feelings are not valid to the team. Wow, that was kind of heavy. Okay, then we are going to Mclaren. I am a little nervous because, I just want them to do well so badly. So, I'm just hoping that it will be good. Ooh, and we have the world. Oh, wow. Wow. We have two major arcanas. The world and the strength with number 21 and 8. 21 adds up to 3. Emotions are running high. Now, I don't want to get too excited, but my emotions are definitely running high. We have strength, which is Leo energy, and Fernando is the only Leo. This is great, because the world is one of the most favorable and lucky cards in the whole tarot. It usually speaks about cycle coming to an end. I shouldn't be covering this because I don't know what are the guidelines with it, but then we have the strength. I usually interpret strength as just, being strong, going from strength to strength. But I feel like with the world often meaning a cycle coming to an end, I feel like with the amount of talk about how McLaren are or were having a lot of trouble with the money and facilities and all of that, I feel like this might be coming to an end and they might be becoming stronger. I'm not saying that they will be, the number one team or something like that, because I cannot really predict that. But I feel like whatever comes their way this season, they will be able to overcome that. It is a new start for them almost. It's the new era, new regulations and all of that, so they can really start new and start better. They for sure, I feel like, will be stronger than they were. Even if it means that they will end up third when they end up fourth in 2021, it is still, getting stronger and better. And I feel like the emotions are running high because they are so positive. I don't really feel negativity when I look at those cards and anything that could really mean something really bad happening to them. Alpine is next. Ace of Pentacles. And Ten of Swords. Okay. Fiery climax approaches. Full moon in Aries. We start off with an Ace of Pentacles. And Ace is number one in tarot. It's just, getting the opportunity and the energy of the element, in this case, the element of earth in its purest form. And then we have Ten of Swords. And 10 is a number of completion, an end to a cycle. And the Ten of Swords, as you can see, it's not very positive. It's just somebody being defeated and having 10 swords stuck in their back, and it is quite drastic. And then we have a fiery climax approaches, which is interesting because, we have climax and we have here beginning of the cycle and the end of the cycle. So this is something hugely transformative about Alpine this season. It is hard to predict where exactly they will end up because, here we have 1, here we have 10. So, I don't know, they can end up anywhere in between. Something is coming to an end when it comes to Alpine. And, they are getting the opportunity probably at the beginning of the season. Yeah, I don't know, maybe initially their car is quite good, but then it gets worse because of the Ten of Swords. Because, it could have ended in Ten of Pentacles, which is like an amazing card and still talks about a cycle that's been closed off. But it ended up in Ten of Swords. The word that comes to my mind is really leaving behind, especially looking at this little road that is leading to the mountains and like a different life, I guess. It could be the case that Fernando is leaving for good, I guess, because if Alpine's car is not very good this season, then I don't think that Fernando would stay with them in general. And I don't see Fernando just, going to a different team. I feel like he would probably just leave for good. I feel like if he leaves, then it is because the car was not the best, but also because it just really drains him and all of that. It reminds me a little bit, of how he was at Mclaren and how fed up with everything he was. I don't want to say that it for sure will happen, but it might. I hope it doesn't, because I really like Fernando. And even though I think that Oscar deserves a seat, I wouldn't want for Fernando to, leave because of something like that, like the way it was at McLaren. I also don't want to say that it for sure will be super bad and terrible for Alpine. No, Like, I cannot tell that, but I think that something will end for them in some way. And we go to Alpha Tauri. Okay, the High Priestess with number 2. My shuffling skills are like really showing off today. Okay, 3 of Wands. So we have 2 and we have 3. I don't know, I feel like this 2 of Cups might be also important. 2 cards fell down. We have take time to breathe out and bring love into the situation. New Moon in Aquarius and Pierre is Aquarius. Now, I feel this is positive, like right off the bat. I know we have, a number 2 and then a number 3, which shows to me the progression. We are moving forward, and here 3 of Wands is really a card of expansion. Like, you set out your ships and now you are waiting for them to return with an abundance of wealth and all of that, this expansive energy. And the High Priestess is somebody who is very in tune with their spirituality, their emotions, just somebody very confident and very healthy. So I feel like this is very good for Alpha Tauri. I feel like they will have a healthy environment to work in. Like, with take time to breathe out, I feel like they won't be pressuring neither Yuki nor Pierre too much. And with bring love into the situation with a new moon in Aquarius, as I was saying, Pierre is in Aquarius, so I feel like they will give Pierre a lot of love, which is nice, even if he decides to, move on to another team for the 2023 season. And with the 2 of Cups here, which I felt was really significant, I feel like the relationship with Pierre and Yuki will be even stronger. I know that 2 of Cups can speak about or like mostly speaks about romance and all of that, but obviously I'm not talking about it. I'm just saying that they probably will have a stronger connection. Now we're going to Aston Martin. And again, I feel like the back of the deck might be important with 2 of Wands. Again, balance spirituality and practicality, full moon in Pisces, and don't let your past hold you back. I can see that in 6 of Swords, which talks about leaving something behind. You just go onto the boat, take all your swords with you, make that decision that you are just sailing out and leaving everything behind because you want something better for yourself. I don't want to say that it speaks about Seb, but it might. Many people have been speculating that he might leave Formula One in general, especially if Aston Martin do not come with a good car this season or in the near future. So I guess if he feels like it doesn't make him happy anymore, then he might just, pack his stuff and leave. It could also speak about some member of the staff leaving. I'm pretty sure that their team principal left, like Mike Crack is the new principal. But I think that it is talking about something that has not happened yet. And with the Page of Pentacles, it is very young and naive energy. Maybe not naive, but like fresh, not very experienced. So I could interpret it as someone new entering the team, possibly to, replace this person. Or I could also see this as Lance getting a podium. I feel like if Seb stays in the team for longer, or in Formula One for longer in general, then this is because he learns that he cannot let the past hold him back. This could also talk about maybe the members of the team feel some sort of way about, this person leaving. They probably will need to balance the team. I don't know, something might be off balance and they will need to find a way to bring it back into the balance. Maybe something that has to do with their past. Now we go to Williams, which might be interesting because with the amount of changes that... Oh, that was close. With the amount of changes that happened at Williams, you would expect something to change for the better. 2 cards fell on the floor. Oh, and we have Knight of Pentacles and 7 of Swords. A new start is coming. Didn't I say just that? Okay, 2 cards also, Jesus, fell on the floor, so I will speak about them now real quick, but probably won't put them down. We have your hard work is paying off, new moon in Capricorn, and your commitment is being tested. So yeah, definitely there's a new start, and all the hard work that people in Williams have been putting throughout the last few years, trying to dig themselves up from the very bottom. I feel like it definitely will pay off. Like they won't be 10th very low again. I don't think. They may be 7th. But at the same time, Knight of Pentacles is... That's a good energy. It's very stable, but it's not the fastest of Knights, because Pentacles are like the slowest energy in tarot. So I feel like the change won't be fast and, like all of a sudden they start 2022 fighting for the wins and all of that. But I think that it is more gradual. But then with the 7 of Swords, it is difficult because it might not be, like we had at the very beginning, we were talking about that somebody might be sneaky and there might be some kind of betrayal or stealing involved and all of that. So that might happen to Williams, or maybe Williams will be the one stealing something. I don't know. I don't want to be too dramatic like that, but I feel like this might be something that happens. I remember now that Alex is going to be in Williams and how people were speculating that he is going there for the Red Bull to know more about the Mercedes engine and all of that. So I'm not necessarily saying that this is true, but it just came to my mind and I think it's quite funny. Now we are going to Alfa Romeo, I don't know. Okay, we have 3 cards. The Star with number 17, which adds up to 6. 7 of Pentacles in reverse, and the Queen of Cups. Oh, nothing is yet set in stone. So, Star is Aquarius energy. I feel like either Valtteri or Guan Yu Zhou might be the Star. I think I said that this adds to a 6, which is not true. 17, which adds up to 8. Then 7 of Pentacles is a card of waiting for your work to pay off, waiting for the fruits of your work to grow, waiting and waiting and waiting, and then it just takes a lot of time for you to see the effect. But in reverse, I feel like it won't take a long time to see something. Maybe it won't take a lot of time for the drivers to get used to the new car and the new team, which is good news, I guess, because they have 2 new drivers. And Queen of Cups is feminine energy, also very stable and sure of their emotions and secure in themselves. Again, the environment in the team will get better, but then nothing is yet set in stone, so I feel like you can't predict too much about Alfa Romeo. It just it's not very faded right now at least. And on to our last team has. And of course they fell on the floor. So we have the chariot and the tower, which sure is powerful because these are two major arcanas. We have number 7 and number 16, which add up to 7 as well. So there's a possibility that they will end up 7th. Step out of your comfort zone. So this is quite good. I mean, the chariot, it's a Cancer energy. You know, the chariot is like the original Formula 1 car. I think about like in ancient Rome, how they would do chariot races and all of that. So it talks about moving forward, like really developing, not looking back, having all the momentum and all of that. And then with a tower, it talks about a huge change. It is just something that wipes everything clear to make space for something new and something better. A lot of people don't really like tower, think that this is not a very positive card. I like tower moments because it just gets rid of everything that is not good for you and does not serve you and makes space for something better to come in. With the step out of your comfort zone, I feel like it will be a challenging season for Haas for sure, but in a good way. Like they probably got used to being in the league of their own in a bad way. Something will change. And I'm not saying that all of a sudden they will be getting podiums and all of that, but for sure I think that they will have a better season. Okay, so we are done with the teams. Let's set this deck aside because now we will be using tarot, and this deck it is the Animal Spirit Oracle deck, and I will read it quite intuitively because I don't have the book with interpretations. I only have it in PDF and my phone is currently recording, so I will try to get for each driver like 1 or maybe 2 if they want to come out together tarot cards and 1 animal spirit card. Let's start with Lewis and with George. 6 of Swords. And for George, oh, we have the Page of Cups. We have the Owl with the element of air. I feel like George is definitely a driver that will have a lot of things happen to him this season, especially with the cards being so jumpy about him. See? Oh my god. B. So starting with Lewis and the 6 of Swords, as I said before, it talks about leaving something behind, and I don't think that he will retire this season. I feel like this talks about leaving the hurt of the 2021 season behind him, like, you know, making the decision to leave the thoughts that involve that in the past and to really focus on what is ahead of him, really sailing in this direction of the 2022 season, getting unstuck. With an owl is somebody who has a lot of knowledge. When I look at an image of an owl, I think about an owl with like books, which is really fitting to Lewis. I feel like he will definitely use his experience in a good way and leave his hurt behind, so it won't hold him back, because I feel like many people have been speculating about whenever what happened in 2021 would hold him back, or maybe it would make him stronger, and I feel like he himself chooses to let it go and really maybe learn from it, become an owl, like really make it a part of his experience. So I feel like if anything, it will make him stronger this season. It won't really hold him back too much. With George, having a Page of Cups is really interesting and fitting, I think, because Page of Swords is somebody who is quirky. They have a fish in their cup. They are creative, have a lot of ideas. So I feel like this will be his energy, like coming into Mercedes, having all of those ideas and really trying to convey them and just become an important part of the team. But with the B, I feel like he will need to learn how to, work, in a structure, in a team like Mercedes, where he needs to cooperate with so many people, with Lewis, and he can be just the sole leader, because I feel like he might be really used to that from Williams. He will need to learn how to listen to other people, that now he is just one single bee in this huge hive and he cannot go around being the queen bee. He just really needs to learn how to be an ordinary bee. I don't see a lot of negative energy between Louis and George. I don't think that they may be some tension, but I feel like as soon as George understands that he needs to be a part of the team and really cooperate with people, then it will be fine. Like, they are both here, have the element of air, which I feel like makes them a little bit on the same page with each other. All right, now we are going to Max and Checo. I also put 33, and now I'm thinking that this season he will have the number 1, but All right, 8 of Cups in reverse. And for Checo, Queen of Cups. Okay, for Max we have the Black Egg. And for Checo, the Gazelle. This is like spirit. It's not any element. It's just like the spiritual stuff. And the Gazelle is fire, I'm pretty sure. So with Max, we have 8 of Cups in reverse. 8 of Cups, when it's upright, it talks about leaving something behind again, like choosing to go your own way and leave this a lot of things behind, basically start new. So definitely Max won't be thinking of leaving Red Bull, that's for sure. But I feel like he might, when Lewis is like letting go of everything that happened and really starting new, having a clean slate and just really handling everything this way, I feel like Max is really still holding on to 2021 and probably the past. He might be quite touchy when somebody asks him about the title. So I feel like this might be a little unhealthy for him. I feel like he still will have it in the back of his mind. I don't really remember what the Black Egg spoke about. It is interesting because it is a spirit. It's not any element. It just, I feel like Max this season will be, like this season for him is quite, there will be a lot of things that are not within his control. Always when I look at the Black Egg, I feel like it reminds me a little bit of a black sheep. Maybe he won't be very nice to people. I know that it is like low-key his personality, that he snaps at journalists and all of that, so I feel like this might happen a lot. I feel like he might isolate himself, especially if the car is not as good as he would hope. Then I feel like instead of actually dealing with his emotions, he just isolates himself and just builds this really this shield around him. Then with Checo, I feel like he will be quite tested by Red Bull. Like, Red Bull is probably not the best environment ever, so if you want to excel in it and you are not Max, then you need to have thick skin and really be secure in yourself and all of that. And I see Checo really having his emotions in check, so I feel like he will probably do well, even if, I don't know, Helmut or some people will really get onto him, I feel like he will be very calm and stable. And then with the gazelles are like quite quick. They are prey animals, so they are usually the ones that are running away from somebody. So I feel like he will usually be a person that is being chased. But I feel like this is mainly positive. Like he will do the job that they want him to do. Now going to Ferrari. Oh, there are two of them, but okay. Two of Pentacles and King of Swords in reverse. And for Charles... Oh, we have a 10 of Wands. Okay, we have golden egg. And I feel like this one was supposed to be for Charles. We have a moth. It's an air energy, I'm sorry. I'm already feeling sorry for them a little bit. I feel like with Carlos, 2 of Pentacles is a card that talks about bringing things into balance. Like, juggling these 2 or more things when the waters are behind them quite, the waves are high and it is not the easiest situation and they just need to bring everything back into balance. And when it's reversed, it's really given me the vibe that it is really hard to balance things out. Like there are things that just do not work. No matter how hard you try to, connect them into this infinity and juggle them and bring them into balance, it just won't work. And the King of Swords is somebody that really speaks their mind and their thoughts. But when it is in reverse, I feel like it is someone who really feels like they cannot speak their mind and they cannot say what they feel, and they really feel like subdued and they wish they were able to speak their mind freely, but they are not. And with the golden egg, it just comes right after the black egg, which is interesting. But I feel like he has a lot of this potential there, but it is surrounded by all of this clutter, and so he has all of this talent and this potential that could make him really successful, but there are things that are out of his control that are enabling him to really show it. And with Charles, it's not good either because 10 of Wands is somebody who has so much responsibility, so much troubles. He just holds on to this because if he lets it go, then it will just break apart. And they are, really struggling, but they keep doing it and they just hold on to all of these things even if they don't need to. So I don't think this is very positive for him. I feel like he will have a lot of burdens this season, maybe within team or in general. The two of them will be like quite apart from each other. Like they will have so much on their own plate that they won't be fully able to support each other. And with a moth is like, an animal that is always drawn somewhere. I feel like they are a night animal and they always are flying to the direction of light, even if it will burn them, because there is a candle and they will just fly into the flame because they don't know that it will hurt them. So I feel like he's trying to hold on to all of this. He's going in this direction that he set for himself, but he does not know that it will burn him really bad. And I don't want to sound very dramatic because it might be something quite minor. Now we are going to Mclaren with Lando and Daniel. All right, 6 of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles. Okay, we have a cheetah with fire energy. No, that is something. Okay, starting with Lando. I feel like cheetah coming up is like quite an indication that he will be fast this season. Definition of cheetah is like fastest land animal on earth. So probably this season will be quite good for him. And with the Six of Pentacles, it talks about charity. Like this season, there will be a lot of opportunities for him that he just is in the right place at the right time to benefit from them. Like, you know, something happens and then he's able to really capitalize on that, and it will just feel like the universe is just setting everything in a way that he just gets fed by all of these things. And for Daniel, we have the Ace of Pentacles, which is an opportunity. So I feel like there is a huge chance that he will win another race this season, possibly at least one. And aces, like one is a number of a new beginning. So I feel like this is really a season that he can start something new for himself, that he can live and 2021 and other seasons behind and really focus on everything that is happening right now. Then we have two very contradicting energies, I feel like, because this is earth, this is fire, and Lamb is somebody who is very gentle and peaceful and all of that, and then there's Scorpion, who is very fiery and can attack when he needs to. So I feel like this talks about how balanced he will be this season, to like when he needs to, he will be calm and collected and make sure that he just brings home a good result, and then when he needs to, he can attack and really show the world his real skill and the fire within him. Then we are going to Alpine with Esteban and Fernando. All right, Eight of Pentacles. Oh, right, the Tower. Otter with the water. Okay, let's take the Vulture. Now I'm having 21 Pilots songs in my head when I look at the Vulture. So starting with Esteban and the Eight of Pentacles, it is a card of hard work. So I feel like this season for Esteban will be a lot about developing his skills and trying to work his hardest. I feel like this might go a little bit unnoticed by many people, like how much hard work he puts into what he does. Like the results won't be spectacular, but like not because of the lack of engagement or hard work or anything like that, just because of the other circumstances. Otter is a very playful energy. Is like advising the person to be playful, jump into the water and have fun. So I feel like he won't take everything that is happening too serious. And with Fernando, I feel like this will be a hugely transformative season for him with the Tower, which I already spoke. It tells you that there will be a huge shift, groundbreaking, everything will get wiped off so that you can start something new. So it will either happen this season, or maybe this season will be a new beginning for him as well. With a Vulture, first when I pulled this card for the first time, I thought about, vultures being how they capitalize on other people's work, so to say. Say a lion has gotten himself something to eat and then they just capitalize on whatever they left. But the true meaning of this card is not that this is a person who is there to pick up the pieces, but that it is somebody who makes sure that everything in the whole ecosystem stays healthy. Like the way vulture, they eat some leftovers from other animals, so that in this way other diseases don't get spread throughout the ecosystem. So I feel like he might be really vocal about what he does not like in Formula One and maybe about the FIA, and he will make sure that the changes that are needed, that they are expressed and people know about how he feels. I'm now going to Alpha Tauri with Pierre and Yuki. One card for Pierre, the sun. All right, that was quick. And one card for Yuki. Ace of Wands, alright. Okay, I will take this card because it just fell on its own. Now I have this song in my mind like like a hummingbird. We are the heroes, so maybe Pierre will be a hero. Okay, we have too much. Let's maybe leave the spider because it was the first one. That is nice, with Pierre having the sun, which is a very optimistic, a very good energy to be in, like just happiness, and so I feel like it will be a strong season for him, and he will be quite happy with himself and his progress and his career and all of that. And with a hummingbird, I feel like he will work hard. I'm not sure what the exact interpretation of the hummingbird in this deck is, because I've never gotten this card. But when I look at a hummingbird, I see somebody very, always in the move, because when a hummingbird flies, or even like if they look like they're in one place in the air, they're constantly flapping their wings, but so fast that you can't even see that. I feel like that will be Pierre, like just constantly in the move, constantly working, even if people don't notice that. And I feel like he will have a lot on his plate and he will deal with it really well. And yeah, and also hummingbirds are like quite quick, like when they fly, they're like super quick, in my opinion. And with Yuki, with Ace of Wands, it's like also a new beginning, which I guess is a good sign for Yuki, because 2021 wasn't the best season ever for him. It is an inspiration, something that like comes down on you and you don't know where it came from, but now you can start new with this idea for yourself and all of that. So I feel like this is this new energy that he starts the 2022 season with a new attitude, and it just really pays off. With a spider, this talks about somebody who is networking, so I feel like there will be a lot of people around Yuki that generally want to help him with this season. He had Alex helping him, Pierre as well. I think he has a driving coach and all of that, so I feel like there will be a lot of people who are willing to help him with whatever obstacles he has. And like I find it interesting that both the hummingbird and the spider have like this rainbow around them, and a rainbow, just in my mind, it is a very harmonious, peaceful energy. So I feel like both of them, like I spoke about when I was reading for Alpha Tauri, I think like the atmosphere and the environment will be very peaceful and just, sunshine and rainbows for both of them. Now going to Aston Martin with Seb and Lance. We have the moon with a Pisces energy and one card for Lance. We have the 10 of Swords. And of course it fell on the floor. Camel. Okay. And one oracle card for Lance, quick as well. The Phoenix. Okay, so with Seb, with the moon energy, it can sometimes be quite heavy, like being deep into your thoughts and like them mostly being negative, being in the dark, and then having just, the moon being your only source of light and having this light in the tunnel that you focus really strongly on. And I feel like this will be, like we have a moon here as well. This might be the energy that Seb is in this season. Possibly maybe he is disappointment, maybe he questions whenever he really wants to continue in Formula One, if this is something that he really wants. Maybe this is a time that he asks a lot of deep questions to himself. But I feel like he sees this moon, this light in the tunnel, and he really focuses on, going forward to it, like really finding his reason for taking part in racing, rediscovering his passion again. The camel, I'm also not sure what is the exact description of camel in this deck, but I feel like, they store water within their body. So I feel like this might be a metaphor of like him really holding on to this passion that he has left in himself, like really trying to take from his reserves. So that's what I see. But I think that he will get there. He will, see the sun rise again and everything will be back. Everything will be okay for him. But I think that for at least a part of this season, he might be deep into his thoughts. And when it comes to Lance, it might be a hard season for him as well, like with the Ten of Swords. Something might end for him, but at the same time, he might be like quite disappointed just as Seb is as well. But I feel like when Seb has this gentle approach and he really gives himself time to process all of his emotions and all of that, I feel like Lance is more trying to, get a rebirth. And really, I feel like maybe the second half of the season or the end of the season might be much stronger for Lance than the beginning of it. Like he might rise as a phoenix just to, finding new passion and new motivation for the sport. So yeah, I feel like possibly this might be something that he needs, like a rebirth and a new perspective. Then going to Alfa Romeo with Valtteri and Guan Yu Zhou. Let's start one card for Valtteri. I hope he does well. Alright, 7 of Cups and one card for Guan Yu Zhou. 7 of Pentacles. Oh, with a Wheel of Fortune. Alright. I'm pretty sure we got the 7 of Pentacles reversed in the reading for Alfa Romeo in general. So this probably speaks about Guan Yu Zhou. Also, like Valtteri has 7 of Cups and his number is 77. So lots of sevens. 7 is quite a lucky number. Okay, let's take the bear. Earth energy. Alright, butterfly flew on his own. Okay, so starting with Valtteri. 7 of Cups is a card that speaks about having many possibilities. Like you have 7 of Cups and you can choose between them. So I'm not sure what this talks about. Like I'm pretty sure that Valtteri will stay with Alpha for a longer time. It also tells you that you need to be careful because there's a snake in one of the cups and all of that. You need to be careful which cup you choose because some of them are not very good and some of them are, so you need to make your decisions wisely. But in general, I like this card because it just tells you that you will expand. You just need to make some decisions. So probably they won't be the easiest decisions that he has ever made, but still, it just means that he will have the opportunities to possibly get some good results, I think. And then a bear. Bears are really strong and, agile and can, they run and they can jump and they are quite dangerous. So I feel like he might have quite a good season that people really did not see coming, because I feel like bears, when you look at a bear, you think about, them being fluffy and big and heavy and them sleeping through the whole winter and all of that. And you don't necessarily think of them as being really fast and, agile and all of that. So I feel like he might surprise a lot of people. Like, yeah, he is a nice little burr most of the times, and with people and with journalists and all of that, but he can also be quite dangerous. Guan Zhou, I spoke about like how Seven of Pentacles in reverse is giving me the vibe that somebody will get adjust really quick, like they will not need to wait a long time for like the fruits of their work to show up. So I feel like this is the case for Guan Yuzhou. Like he probably will get used to the team and the car quite quickly, which is good, I guess, because probably every single driver will struggle this season because of the new cars and new regulations and new everything. And the Wheel of Fortune, you know, I love Wheel of Fortune because it is just, you know, you get in all the luck you need. It also speaks about cycles, like a cycle coming to an end and then a new cycle begin, because everything in life happens in cycles, and you sometimes get lucky, sometimes you get unlucky, but when it's upright, I feel like the Wheel of Fortune is really talking about you being quite lucky. So I feel like this might be a good season for him, and it might be surprising to a lot of people. With a butterfly also, it talks about, you know, transformation and change and beginning, having a new start, you know, becoming a butterfly. So it just, to me, signifies that he will become this butterfly this season. Maybe he will just get lucky a couple of times, but at the same time, I feel like he might have quite a strong season, both him and Valtteri. Then we are going to Williams. I don't know why I put Alfa Romeo before Williams in this spread, because Williams finished higher, obviously, but I don't know. It just happened. So, okay, one card for Nicholas. It's Knight of Pentacles. And one card for Albono. That is two cards, Queen of Pentacles and Page of Wands in reverse. Okay, Dragon. And we have Stingray. So, with Nicholas, we have this Knight of Pentacles again, which, like I've already spoke about, Knight of Pentacles is not the quickest knight of them all. He's the slowest one, so I don't think he will be spectacularly fast, but still, you know, he has a horse, which gives him the freedom and the opportunity to move forward. So that's probably a good sign. Obviously, we have pentacles, like, you know, pentacles represent the material wealth. So I feel like he obviously will be able to bring some money into the team. And then with a dragon, it's interesting because a dragon, when I see a dragon, I think about the ancient wisdom of a dragon. So I feel like this season for Nicholas will be mostly about gaining experience. Yeah, I would say that it probably won't be super amazing and, you know, him being the world champion or anything like that, but it is stable and, you know, learning new experiences. With Alex, we have Queen of Pentacles and Page of Wands in reverse. I feel like he will be quite confident about his skills and Williams as a team and his car and all of that, but then he, I think, might lack a bit of passion at some point, maybe like being outside of the sport for a year like made him question whenever he really loves it as much as he thought he does. And I feel like he might be quite reluctant to really embrace that he needs to start anew, like become a beginner again, because it's a new car and he has been outside of a team for a year, like, you know, not having a seat. He might feel like he is, you know, this queen or king already, and like he does not need to learn as much as he probably does. But as soon as he understands that there are a lot of things that he needs to still learn about, then probably it will be a strong season for him, but it will be mostly a learning experience, I think. With a Stingray. I have read about this card, but I don't remember much, honestly. I feel like it is all about really aligning like that and like not hiding, because when I look at it, I think of, how those animals really lay on the bottom of the ocean or anywhere and trying to not be visible at all. I feel like he might need to realize that now it's time to step out of it. He's not just being a reserve driver that is there whenever somebody comes to get him and pick him up. He just needs to get himself up and show himself up. Now we are going to our last pairing, which is Mick and Nikita. The Judgment, all right. Hierophant, okay. The Bat. The Cobra, okay. With Mick, with the Judgment card, I came to a realization that because I had a lot of trouble interpreting Judgment, really. And now I just think that it mostly is being called to rise up. There is this higher power, higher source that is, letting you know that it is time to step up, to rise up, to become a better version of yourself. So I feel like Mika will definitely improve this season. He will feel like this is the time and the opportunity to really, go on to the next level for himself and his driving. So I think this is very positive. Probably lots of people will see him as somebody really worth his place in Formula One and worth his name. I also read about the Bat, but I can't really remember. We have a Moon here as well. I don't know, maybe sometimes this season he will feel like he is in the dark, but then he will come into the attitude of a bat. The bats are night animals, they thrive in the night, so he will feel like, maybe the circumstances are not perfect, but I can learn how to use them. So I feel like he will find a way to, excel even in the most difficult conditions. And with Nikita, I feel like he might have a little trouble adjusting to the new, because Hierophant is a very traditional energy and an energy that likes to dwell on the past. So I feel like he won't be very happy with how much different these new cars are. Maybe he won't be as open-minded and as progressive as he should be in order to really make the most of this season. It also reminds me a little bit of his dad, I don't know, because I feel like his dad is now so important at Haas because they are their main sponsor. So I feel like his dad might have a lot to say when it comes to his racing and might have an important role. And a Cobra, I don't think I've ever pulled this card. When I think of Cobra, I think of an animal that is in the hiding, but then when somebody steps on it, it will attack or at least scare them. He might be really mediocre throughout most of the season, really not being very visible and all of that, but then there might be a couple of times that he shines a little bit. I don't know. Maybe he also gets too emotional and snaps on people. Now I would like to use the Angel Answers. There it is. Angel Answers Oracle cards to get some answers to the yes or no questions. When I have a yes or no question, I like to just take this few yes or no answers and just shuffle them until one of them falls to give me an answer. So, will we have a new world champion in 2022? Like, will a new person win the championship? So, like, not Lewis, not Max, not Seb, not Fernando, just somebody new. So, will there be a new champion? This might take a while because when there is this little cards, it takes them quite a lot of time to just fall. And if they don't want to fall, then I would just pick one of them because we can be here forever. Okay, this one flipped. No, we will not have a new world champion. So who will be the new champion? Knight of Cups in reverse. 3 of Cups. I'm trying to see the Hanged Man. I don't know, it just does not give me a lot of indication about who is going to be the new champion. 6 of Wands, obviously. 3 of Wands. So we have 2 3s and a 6, and a 3 adds up to 6. But 6 is Nicholas' number, so I don't think he will be the new champion.